While there has been a cacophony of planetary energies these last 6 months, the one constant base note has been Saturn, planet of responsibility and commitment, retrograding in the sign of Libra. Saturn slows things down or brings them to a screeching halt, and we have been experiencing its backward motion since the end of January. On June 13th, the Lord of Karma and Life Lessons moves forward, bringing focus to stalled situations and relationships. Some of the kinks will be ironed out, and issues may be resolved, either through a recommitment process or necessary ending. Any story involving sacrifice, patience, and grit inevitably involves the energy of the longevity planet. While we may not like Saturn in our fast food culture, he is a necessary component in developing mastery, building foundations, and making more responsible choices. And despite our laziness and immaturity as a nation, we tend to deify struggle, made embarrassingly clear in the pathetic profiles of Olympic athletes we're forced to swallow every 4 years. In consensus reality thinking and some media ratings, anything worth having requires the time, wisdom, and patience of Saturn. The commitment planet traveling through the sign of Libra brings the focus to partnerships of all kinds. Yes, relationships with a capital R are highly featured, but likewise our associations with colleagues, collaborators, friends, and family. And whether we're in a personal relationship or not, we might want to consider these questions. To whom or what are we willing to commit? Are they or it in alignment with who we really are? Is there reciprocity or equality in the association or exchange? Many marriages have ended in the period since Saturn moved into Libra in October 2009, while more appropriate new relationships are forming and solidifying. Saturn in Libra requires that two people respond as equals, so those partnerships that have become or were always imbalanced must inevitably give way. In terms of equilibrium, one theme to consider is the notion of conditional versus unconditional love. Conditional love has a bad rap because many of us experienced its lower form, where in childhood love and affection were withheld until certain generally irrational and oftentimes inconsistent conditions were met. Yet, conditional love in its higher form is actually the type of love that occurs between two mature people who are self-aware. I choose to give you active love as long as you respect me and we agree on our personal boundaries and goals. And because we're living on the three-dimensional plane, the relationship has to work effectively in real time, reality being a Saturn word. Unconditional love, while naively spiritual, does not necessarily involve mutual respect or personal responsibility. Love does not mean that I can do whatever I want and you should embrace me regardless of the consequences, despite self-abnegating turn-the-other-cheek propaganda. My clients have heard me use this phrase, but it bears repeating. You may love the soul of a person, unconditional love, but make sure to note if the individual personality is dressed like an a-hole before you give your heart away. It is okay to unconditionally love your child or your pet, but when it comes to adults, conscious conditional love supports a mutually respectful and healthy exchange. So with Saturn resuming forward motion this month, determine where and with whom you want to invest your time and effort, and lay the groundwork for the relationships that support your most cherished vision for your life. We so appreciate your joining us here at One World in Concert's YouTube channel. Please subscribe and leave your comments. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.